Exposed brick on furniture? What? We're going to use Decoupage as wallpaper, a brick stencil, and textured medium for this industrial makeover. First, I'm mixing up some 1-hour enamel in carbon with some Saltwash until I have the right consistency, mixing until it looks like chunky peanut butter. So using my brick stencil and the Saltwash mixture, I'm creating an exposed brick texture on my piece. I'm using white to color block out so I can see what the exposed brick will look like. This will help when you apply your decoupage paper to a white background so you can see the image clearly. Now I'm applying a clear coat just in case I need to use the ironing technique later on for bubbles. Now I'm going to anchor the paper on that top edge so that it lays super nicely and I don't have to hold it up. Let's rip off that edge, and now we're going to get into using the saran wrap to really get it into those creases on the faces of those drawers. Now I'm using the X-Acto knife to relieve some of that tension that's going on when I'm trying to curve the paper around those edges. This makes it much easier to lay on product and smooth out so that there are limited amount of wrinkles and bubbles. Time to move on to the next section. So I'm laying on more product, and then I'm using my fingers really gently to make sure that it is curving around all of those edges on the drawers, using my saran wrap and making sure that I'm getting most of the wrinkles out as I go and that it's really flush around those edges of the fronts of the drawers. Again, using my fingers to trace the seam of the drawer and then using my saran wrap. Now this is where that tension builds up, so I'm coming back in with my X-Acto knife to relieve some of that tension along that edge. You might have noticed that there is quite a bit of bleed through coming through the paper, but I'm not so worried about that because when I get to a space where I am shading, it's all going to look industrial. If you are using a paper, a lighter paper that you're not wanting to have that color coming through, you would definitely want to use a primer instead. Using my saran wrap for this last little bit of edge, X-Acto knife, and there we go. I took the drawers completely out, and now I'm getting all those rough edges so that the drawers slide nicely. Using my X-Acto knife, I'm cutting away the paper away from the hinge so that it will open and shut smoothly. I ripped off the paper right around this edge so that it looks like exposed brick. And at the first layer I did, I forgot to videotape. So it does need a little bit more thickness, so I thought I would show you how I did it. I'm using a texture medium. I'm just using a old card. And what I'm gonna do is go right along this edge and then get it like built up around this edge, and then I'm gonna smooth it back into the decoupage paper. So I want to build up that edge a little bit more, and then I'm going to smooth it back. And sometimes if it's thick, you can pull it this way too to make it look more organic and jaggedy on that edge. So I'm going to pull it that way too. And this is kind of straight anyway, so I'm going to see if I can just pull it maybe into the brick a little bit so that it looks like it's pulled off. The drywall is pulled off And some of those thick areas I'm just gonna leave, and then I'm gonna smooth it back into the paper because we have to blend that in. So I'm gonna kind of just play around with it until you get it the way you like it. This is one of those things that you just have to go for it. And when I was going for it, I forgot to videotape it because I wasn't that confident with what I was doing. So now I feel a little bit better. I did the other side and it went better. Ooh, I like that. You might like a super close up so you could see. And then I'm pushing harder when I want to pull it back. So here we go again. I'm gonna put more right here. And I can pull it out. And then I can pull it down. Time to do a black wash on that brick and make it look more aged and also make it look like it is set back further than the paper so that it gives the illusion of exposed brick. Time to start blending. I'm using iron oxide, goldenrod, and a little bit of Prussian to dry brush and blend in that edge into the paper. Some of that color got onto the brick, so I'm going back over with an artist brush with the black paint so that you can really see the differentiation from the paper and the exposed brick. For just a touch of wow factor, we're going to add some patina using deep turquoise. Now I'm going back in, dry brushing with Java glaze just to give it even more of an aged look. After it's completely dry, I like to come back over it and make sure that I iron it down from time to time because I know how many layers of color I'm putting on the paper as I go. Now it's all in the details. I'm adding some Prussian so that it matches the corner on that front, and I'm also adding some metallic copper just so it picks up the light here and there with that patina. We're going to use Prussian and some deep turquoise and create some movement and flow using a drip technique. I also decided to use a couple different colors of metallic copper for the drips as well. I added the hardware and now it is time to age it even further with some brown wax. Using an artist brush in all of the corners and then feathering it out into the middle to give it even more drama. Here again, I'm using an artist brush to get that brown wax into the corners, and then I'm going to feather it out into the middle using Furniture Tonic. This is really going to make the colors pop and look rich. I'm also going to add some brown wax to the brick so that it will warm it up and make it look like a cohesive piece. This is one of those pieces that you wake up at 2 in the morning and think, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I just got to give it a try. Okay friends, let's hear it. What's your fave? Leave a comment below. You can find all our products on our website at ignitefurnishings.co.com and in the links in the descriptions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more fun tutorials. Thanks for watching.